Right to the body on the hook from Perry.
In the world of combat sports fantasies, few matchups spark more debate than pitting a modern bare-knuckle brawler against a legendary martial arts master. Mike Perry, the tattooed powerhouse known as Platinum, represents the new breed of street-smart fighters who've conquered bare-knuckle boxing and mixed martial arts. Michael Jai White, meanwhile, stands as one of the most accomplished martial artists in Hollywood history, a legitimate black belt in multiple disciplines who brought authenticity to action cinema. While they exist in different combat universes, imagining these two warriors meeting in their absolute prime creates a fascinating clash of styles, philosophies, and raw athletic ability. Veteran turns bare-knuckle champion, Perry built his reputation on devastating knockout power and an unfiltered personality that made him one of combat sports' most entertaining figures. Holding black belts in 7 different martial arts, including Shotokan Karate, Taekwondo, and Kyokushin, White isn't just an action star, he's a legitimate fighter who competed in tournaments before his film career took off. Perry represents the modern era of MMA's evolution into bare-knuckle fighting, while White helped legitimize martial arts in Hollywood during an era when authentic technique mattered. Mike Perry's approach to combat is beautifully simple yet brutally effective. In his prime UFC days and subsequent bare-knuckle career, Platinum relied on overwhelming power, aggressive forward pressure, and an iron chin that allowed him to walk through punches to land his own bombs. His style is reminiscent of old-school brawlers: minimal defense, maximum offense. Perry's knockout ratio speaks volumes about his ability to end fights with a single shot, and his transition to bare-knuckle boxing showcased his adaptability and toughness. His weaknesses, however, are equally apparent: a tendency to abandon technique for power, defensive vulnerabilities, and a sometimes reckless approach that left him open to counters. Michael Jai White's fighting style represents the opposite end of the spectrum. Technical precision meets explosive athleticism. His background spans multiple disciplines, giving him a diverse arsenal. From Kyokushin's devastating body kicks to Taekwondo's lightning-fast head kicks, White possessed the technical knowledge to adapt to any opponent. His demonstrated ability to throw jumping, spinning kicks with power and accuracy isn't Hollywood magic. It's the result of decades of dedicated training. White's strengths include superior technique, varied striking from multiple angles, better defensive fundamentals, and the discipline of traditional martial arts training. His potential weaknesses in a street fight or MMA context would be the transition from point fighting systems to continuous combat and less experience with ground fighting compared to modern MMA practitioners. Round 1. In this hypothetical fight begins with Perry pressing forward immediately, his signature aggression on full display as he stalks White across the ring. The martial arts master circles smoothly, maintaining distance with teep kicks and measuring jabs that snap Perry's head back. Perry eats the shots and continues marching forward, throwing looping hooks with bad intentions. White's footwork keeps him elusive for the first 2 minutes, but Perry's relentless pressure begins to limit his space. A huge overhand right from Perry whistles past White's ear, too close for comfort. White responds with a perfectly timed sidekick to Perry's midsection that buckles the brawler momentarily, showcasing the difference in technical striking. Round 2. Perry adjusts his strategy, cutting off the ring more intelligently and forcing White into exchanges. White's spinning back kick attempt is partially blocked, but the power behind it clearly surprises Perry. The bare-knuckle fighter retaliates with a crushing left hook to the body that visibly affects White. Both men are landing now, White with cleaner, more varied techniques, Perry with fewer but heavier shots. A perfectly timed question mark kick from White snaps Perry's head back, opening a cut above his eye. But Perry's granite chin holds firm, and he fires back with a combination that pushes White to the ropes, demonstrating the danger of his raw power. Round 3. In the championship rounds, conditioning becomes crucial. Perry, accustomed to the grueling nature of bare-knuckle boxing, maintains his pace. White's traditional training gives him excellent cardio, but the constant pressure is taking its toll. Both warriors dig deep, trading leather in a phone booth. White lands a beautiful spinning heel kick that would have knocked out a lesser fighter, but Perry walks through it and unloads a vicious combination. The martial arts master circles out, resetting with technical strikes, but Perry's power punches are accumulating damage. In the final minute, Perry lands a thunderous overhand right that sends White stumbling. White survives using superior defensive technique, but the round clearly belongs to Platinum. After analyzing both fighters' strengths and weaknesses, I believe Mike Perry would emerge victorious in a prime versus prime matchup, and here's why. Perry's advantages prove decisive in this scenario. His experience in actual combat sports competition, where men are actively trying to hurt him, gives him a psychological and practical edge. His conditioning is specifically designed for real fights, not demonstrations or choreography. Most importantly, his knockout power represents a constant fight-ending threat that White would need to avoid for the entire duration of the bout. White's technical superiority and diverse skill set would absolutely cause Perry problems and make this a competitive fight. His kicks from angles Perry rarely encountered in the UFC or bare-knuckle boxing would land successfully. However, the gap between martial arts competition, even legitimate ones, and modern combat sports has widened significantly. Perry's iron chin, proven against elite UFC strikers, would likely withstand White's best shots, while White's defensive techniques, honed in a different era and rule set, might not hold up against Perry's relentless power punching. Both men represent important chapters in combat sports history. Mike Perry embodies the evolution of fighting, from traditional martial arts to MMA to the resurgence of bare-knuckle boxing. Michael Jai White brought legitimacy to martial arts cinema and inspired countless practitioners to pursue authentic training. While they may never actually face off, imagining such matchups celebrates the rich tapestry of fighting styles and the warriors who've mastered them. The debate itself honors both their legacies and reminds us why combat sports continue to captivate our imagination.